George Bigfoot.
People are realizing more and more that Bigfoot is human-like, and we relate that to the Neanderthal.
As much as you say it's human-like, it's covered in hair. It's a beastly-looking thing. I mean, that really looks sort of animal too.
But they're not going to designate it. They're going to have a lot of scientists that are going to designate it.
So that
human-like.
goes back to the personhood thing.
Yes, exactly.
So give it a driver's license, maybe give it rights to vote.
It's funny how the Neanderthal was vilified for the longest time. People thought that was an ignorant creature with a smaller, and well, actually, they didn't think it had a smaller brain, but you would think it did based on
the way it was treated.
Yeah, even nowadays, if a senator or whatever acts, crazy or what in the news, he's, or
he's a Neanderthal.
He's a Neanderthal, yeah, exactly. And
so, what would they say about Bigfoot? He's definitely a Neanderthal.
He's a Bigfoot. No.
he's a Bigfoot. He's a Neanderthal. It's the same thing.
But what they discovered was they didn't realize for the longest time they thought that humans did not mix with Neanderthal. And then, with the advent of DNA and DNA testing, they found out
that everybody's got a trace of...
No, they found out that non-Sub-Saharan Africans, I'm not sure if it's Africans above the Sahara Desert have Neanderthal blood, as well as Europeans also have Neanderthal blood, as well as Asians also have Neanderthal blood.
How about North Americans?
And North America, well, North Americans are basically...
Neanderthals.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No,
What about South America?
No, North and South American Indians are basically Asians. I mean, they are Asians. They're, and then, of course, the Spanish came over. I'm just saying, prior to Europeans coming over, they're basically Asian people. The Indians are basically Asian people. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's what they are. And of course,
why you always got to put a butt in there?
But one tribe of Indians, I think it was around the Great Lakes, they actually say are European DNA, because they have
that's interesting.
The DNA scientists test all this stuff, and it's irrefutable. You can't,
Are you willing to undergo DNA testing?
Yeah, sure I am. But my point was with the Neanderthals, they had villainized them so long that then they turned out that non-Sub-Saharan African, in other words, non-black people, have Neanderthal blood.
Which was, I'm sure, shocking.
And now you see people say, well, Neanderthals really weren't that bad. And actually, their brain is actually bigger. And of course, that was always the case, because you can measure the brain.
And now they have a language. There's all these things coming to light now.
Yes. Now. Oh, and also they could speak just like what? What do you know? They could also speak like, and also
like modern humans.
And they didn't herd woolly mammoths, which is also in the news.
They were brutal killers.
And drive them off the cliffs like was once suspected. Now, what else will they find out? They were angels,
Just like Bigfoot.
Exactly.
Bigfoot's not hurting people or animals over cliffs. He's not, well, maybe he is.
Well, he's not hurting anybody off of a cliff, but I think they'll find the same thing with Bigfoot. Is they'll there's a preconceived notion of what you think, a prejudice, if you will, and then that
everybody has, including yourself.
Right, and everybody has that about everything. Everybody is prejudiced.
Absolutely.
It just means prejudging. That's all. I mean, in its strictest sense, that's all it means.